Okay, so today we've got a fairly easy session actually, because we're going to do some revision of 2 conditionals, and then we've got a section out of the book which uses those conditionals. So apart from maybe a little bit of vocabulary, it shouldn't be too challenging. I want to do more of this kind of practical application. So, sans further ado, let's have a quick revision of this. Can everybody see this okay? You having difficulty reading those explosion signs, Chuck?
No, just bad eyesight.
Ah, okay. We'll come back to this bit at the bit at the top afterwards. Let's just go through this first, because this was a kind of an addendum anyway. So the tara conditional has almost unregulated conditional usage, except for its timing. There are none of the regulations that we have with ba conditional. So we can use it for making requests, prohibitions, preferences, etc. without any problem. Generally, if we're using tara as the conditional form, the if form, then generally people use moshi at the beginning to kind of emphasize the I say, because if we leave moshi off of it, then it suggests not if, but when. So it just makes it a little bit less certain. So we make this by putting the verb, adjective, or noun into the simple past form, the ta form, and then putting ra at the end. So everything will finish either with tara or tara. That's my double consonant. But put your head forward like this. Tara. Yeah. For example, iku becomes itta, becomes ittara. Hanasu becomes hanashita, becomes hanashitara. And kairu becomes kaittara. Effie, you're looking much taller today. Yeah, it's nice. For group 2 verbs, these are really simple. Of course, taberu becomes tabeta, becomes tabetara. And then suru becomes shitara, kuru becomes kitara. Pretty easy. For adjectives, we have to again put these into the past tense. Atsui becomes atsukatta, becomes atsukattara. Benri, well, all na adjectives we can treat as nouns. So we need either a des or a da at the end. So either benri dattara or benri deshtara. I've stuck nara in there, but we'll explore later how that is time sensitive. And then for nouns, we do exactly the same thing. Ame dattara, ame deshtara, ame nara. In fact, we can freely use nara here because adjectives are not time sensitive. And of course, with all conditional forms, excuse me a second. With all conditional forms, we have the condition first, and then we follow up with the consequence, the request, or the outcome, etc. Okay, now the inclusion of ta in the condition, and that means this is the past tense. So the condition is the past tense. So this indicates that there is an order of events. So the condition is saying, if that has happened, then B. If A has happened, then B. Not if A is going to happen, then I will do B now. Okay, we'll do a little example in a second. Probably you remember this thing about if you're coming to my house, please call, that kind of thing. And omitting moshi at the beginning tends to incline the meaning to become when A is completed, rather than if A happens. Costa, you've got a pained expression on your face. Is that not enough coffee, or too much coffee, or not enough coconut sweets?
No, it's a little bit
Early in the morning.
no, like there is a hole in this part of Nara. I need to remember everything. I'm a little bit
Okay, we'll do some examples and it will all come flooding back like the clap. So here's a really typical easy example. We'll do a few more before we do some exercises. If you're going to Tokyo, then please buy me a souvenir. But so you've got to, it's not if you are going to Tokyo, before you go, please buy me a souvenir. It's if you go to Tokyo, if you get to Tokyo, when you have arrived in Tokyo, then please buy me a souvenir, an omiyage. But let's do some other little examples which will help us to consolidate this. Just give you some time to write any notes down if you need to. It's lovely seeing the expression on people's faces sometimes when they're reading, especially you, Costa. Nut job. Okay, let's do some examples. Hang on a second. So the one which we hopefully can remember from before is if you are coming to my house, then please call me. Okay, so let's be sure what this actually means, right? I won't go into too much detail with drawings, but this is my house, and this is me inside the house, and this is you at your house somewhere, or in prison or something, and this is meaning if you're coming to my house like that, then please call me before you leave. So this is saying please call me now if you're coming, not when you have arrived at my house, but if you come to my house. So we can't use tara for this case. We'd have to use what? Nara, exactly. So let's put this into a sentence. Watashi, let's put everything in there. Watashi no ie ni kuru nara denwa shite kudasai. Okay.
Don't understand why.
Okay, so let's add another example then. If you are coming to my house, then please ring the doorbell. Just before we come on to why, let's now make the correct form of this. What would be the right way to say this?
Would that be with kitara?
With kitara, exactly. So how do you do this, Piotr?
Watashi no ie ni kitara doorbell o ring shite kudasai.
Sorry.
I'm assuming oshite would not work here.
I think oshite is fine. Oshite kudasai. Yeah.
Naru?
So naru would be the intransitive. Yeah. So you can say the doorbell is ringing. You say doorbell ga nattemasu or doorbell ga narimashita. But to actually do it yourself, then I think oshite is fine. All right. So let's. Oh, fuck off. Excuse me. Let's put my phone as a silent. Just a constant barrage of bleeps and pings and fucking crap. Right, that's better. Just got that out of my system. Thank you. Right, so what's the difference between these two? Just move these around a little bit.
In the first case, there's no certainty that you will be coming or when. And the second case, that you're already there.
Right. Yes.
Would like to come in, I suppose.
That's kind of correct.
I don't know why.
So I mean, basically, they're both conditionals. They're both hypotheticals. But for this first one here, let's just give this a label so we know what we're talking about. For this first one, number one. and this one number 2. But the key thing to bear in mind is that the conditional is being applied to this verb, coming. Of course, we use, let's change this to coming. So it's the verb to come. Now, the first one is, if you are going to come to my house, before this happens, before the coming, please telephone me. So we're using nada for this case. In the second case, number 2, this is saying if you have already come, if this verb has already happened, if you are now here at the door, please press the doorbell. In this case, we need to use the kitara because we're saying if that verb has happened, if it's already in the past, then please ring the doorbell. Does that make sense, Jock?
Barely.
Let's try a different example.
Is
Yeah,
it
go
like
ahead.
for the Tara, if you already have done action 1,
Yep.
then you can do action 2.
Yes.
With the Nara is before you do action 1,
Yep.
do action 2.
Correct. Exactly this. Yes, exactly this. Exactly this. So you're absolutely right. So in the first case, this is saying, call me, then come to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one is saying, come to my house, then ring the doorbell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's giving an order, but in both cases, the conditional is if come, then call or ring. Okay. But in case 1, call is happening first, and then you're coming. In case 2, you're coming first, and then you're calling.
Okay.
So in case 2, this has to have happened before you can ring the doorbell. Yeah. So a way of thinking about this, and this is kind of consistent throughout all the uses of tara. Tara means
Are you waiting
Is
for
this a
somebody?
question?
I'm just seeing people making notes. I'm just waiting for people to look up. I don't want to rush this part.
We had the same question with Piotr. It was an open question for everybody.
Has Andy just frozen in space? Tara means if or when verb is completed. And that's the important thing. If it has been completed or when it is completed. This is what tara is exactly equivalent to. So in English, this kind of gets lost. For example, if you go to Thailand, then you need a visa. If you go to Thailand, please buy me a coconut. But there's no in English, there's no time sensitivity. There's no strict order. It just says if you go to Thailand, then you will need a visa. This, of course, means before you go to Thailand, you will need a visa. If you go to Thailand, then please buy me a coconut. This means when you have arrived in Thailand, please buy me a coconut. There's no time sensitivity in English, but there is in this Japanese term. In fact, in all Japanese terms.
In English, it's implied, but it's never really explicitly made. Like similarly to the joke with the programmer who gets 10 packs of milk because there were eggs at the shop. Get some milk, and if they have eggs, get 10.
Right. Yeah.
10 packs of milk because there were eggs. So this is entirely lost in Japanese, I assume.
Yes.
More specific.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's much more explicit, isn't it? Yeah. Is everybody okay? I mean, this is the entire core of today's lesson. It's understanding when to use nara and when to use tara, because otherwise they're kind of interchangeable. That nara doesn't have any regulations on it either, except that it means before verb happens, do X. Everybody happy? I want to see the moose of complete comprehension, please. If everybody's good. Okay, good. Wayne, have you got the moose on or right? Okay, good. Has anybody got the centaur of uncertainty with them?
Not entirely, actually. So, is it really just that time frame difference between nara and tara?
Yes.
Is there nothing? Well, is there nothing else? Is that?
What more do you want, boy?
Clarity. I mean, if that's really all, then that makes it much more easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm thinking now in Italian to understand better the grammar, but I think the tara would have been better if you would go there, then you better do this or buy me a present, because it's the would, like hypothetical in the past, but making it's something. We simplify in English. We say if you go there, do this, but technically we should have said if you would go in Japan, then
Yeah.
buy me a present.
Yes, I mean, almost certainly there are similar kind of inflections you can give to English as well to imply that, but they're often not used these days because English is becoming kind of simplified and generalized.
Americanized.
Sorry, Americanized. Yeah. I mean, we might say something like, if you go to Thailand, when you get there, please buy me a coconut. We have to explicitly say this to make it clear. If you're going to Thailand, before you go, you need a visa. We have to kind of explicitly add it into the sentence to make it clear when the outcome needs to happen in relation to the condition.
Could you simplify that to once you have gone to Thailand?
We can, yes, yeah. Although that also includes once you've been to Thailand and come home.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, you can end up kind of again giving the wrong impression. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, in Japanese, once you've come to my house, watashi no ie ni kitara.
Yep.
Sorry, kitara. You can still say, well, after that, maybe something else happened.
Yes.
Or is that not the case? Or is the tara really the immediate after the verb?
Oh, no. It means once this has been completed. So it can be any time after this.
Yeah. So once you've come to my house and gone back home and you're lying in bed, please ring my doorbell.
I mean, it would be strange to include that because you're missing out a massive amount of information. Yeah. But in the sort of fairly immediate past after that reference verb, it's saying basically any time after this. Yeah. I mean, for example, you could say unten menkyo wo morattara itsudemo unten dekimasu. Once you have received your driving license, then you can drive at any time. Yeah. So there is perhaps one other, I guess, a kind of difference between tara and nara, is that because tara is referring to the past, it can be used much more like a when something happens rather than if. Nara still has, because it's talking about a future event and non-completion, it's got a slight more feeling of hypotheticalness about it. Yeah. Hypothesis about it? Let's do some examples, guys. Hypotheticality. Yes, probably hypotheticalization, possibly. Yeah.
Califragilistic.
Yeah. It's like Wilcash used to say to me and Jock when we went to Poland in the early days. He said, he used the word touristic. Like this is a touristic museum and this is a touristic place to go to.
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's no, it's just tourist. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to it. Let's find the exercises. Okay, we've got some paired practice here a little bit, actually. Jock, you're going to be person A. You're going to ask the question, and Effie, you're going to answer in an appropriate fashion as B. Jock, would you like to go first?
もし明日の天気が良かったら、
その天気が良かったら、Yep.
どこで働きますか？
Perfect. どこで働きますか？はい、Effieさん。
Why is that Tara though?
Okay.
More hypothetical than knowledge.
I'll explain in a second. Let's do the answer first, and then we'll examine if we can use nada here as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I answer the whole thing? Do you want me to say moshi ashita?
I mean, would you in real life?
No.
Then you can just give the answer.
Okay. 明日は anyway, I'll just say Brussels de
Yep.
働きます。
Okay, good. Okay. Hatarakimasu. Okay, good. Right, so good question. Can we use nada in this one?
Can we not? I would suppose so.
Can you tell me why?
I guess because we don't know, because we were saying before that we don't know about the weather, but then of course if you do the requirement that if the weather is good and we take it as a requirement to go work somewhere, you would have to expect first to see the weather and then go work, but that would assume that your plans would change if the weather would not be good tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a requirement, so you really need to see that the weather is good first and then you go work.
True. True.
I would just make it like more hypothetical. I don't know, because if you work, you work. I don't know.
Okay, nearly good. Not quite. It's a much simpler answer.
Do I have to give it or somebody?
Adjectives are not time referenced, not by themselves. You can say atsukunaru and atsukunatta, but this is no longer using the adjective. This is now an adverb. But adjectives by themselves are not time referenced. You can have atsukatta, it was hot, atsuides, it is hot, but you can't have, for example, present continuous. So there is no, for adjectives and nouns, they're not used as a time reference. It's not like it is if it becomes hot, or if it will become hot, or if it has become hot. We're not saying this. We're saying if tomorrow is good weather. So we can use nara or tara in this case because the condition is not time sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this case, Effie, you can say, instead of this one, you could say Dodo.
明日はshould I say something like that? Atsukatara?
But you said you were not going to use tara.
Should I do the question then in Naru? You mean?
Yes.
Answer.
Yeah. Just rephrase the question using nara.
Okay. 明日は暑くなります。
Yeah.
Should I say 天気が良くなります?
No, we don't need to use naru because this is using an adverb. We can just say tenki ga.
What am I supposed to do then?
Well, what's the adjective here?
E.
And then what conditional are you using?
I was gonna try the naru.
Nada, not naru. Nada.
Nara.
Nada.
No, nara.
Yeah.
Nara. Oh my God. Yes. Oh yeah. I was.
The other one that we talked about.
I was looking at the Atsukunaru and I was making the nara.
You don't need anything like this. You can just say doko de hatarakimasu ka? Yeah, this is fine.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was looking at the Atsukunaru.
Yeah, we don't need to use these. You can use them if today's cold and you're wondering about tomorrow if it's going to be hot. Then you could say Moshi ashita tenki ga atsuku nattara, if it's going to become hot tomorrow, doko de hatarakimasu ka? Then you can use tara. Yeah.
It's obvious now that I haven't been doing anything.
Well, we haven't really done this for a long time anyway. And we did talk about the time referencing of adjectives. So what we have to remember most of all, I guess, is this. Just a second. If we're using verbs in the conditional, especially the tara conditional or nara, there's 3 tenses, isn't there? There's iku, itteimasu, ikimashita. We don't have that same before, during, and after with pure adjectives. You can say something was hot and something is hot. You don't have the before becoming hot. You don't have that kind of transition through time. All right. Oops. Let's go to this one. Luke, if you drive quickly, then it is dangerous.
Hayaku.
Yeah.
Unten shittara abonai desu.
Now, what do you think, guys? You have to start using instinct a little bit here. Can you use nara with this one?
I'd be inclined to say, yeah.
I don't think so, because you only it's only going to become dangerous after you've driven quickly.
Yeah, but if you're going to be that specific, then this means when you have finished driving quickly, then it is dangerous. If you're going to read into it that much. I mean, driving is now a duration event, isn't it? It's something that's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And at the middle of doing it, at the beginning of doing it, before it's completed, it's dangerous. If you're in the middle of doing it, it's dangerous. Towards the end, it's still dangerous. But when it's completely completed, when it's finished, it's not dangerous. So you have to kind of ask yourself, does this tara mean the completion of it, the under process on the way of doing it, or before doing it?
And we use the back condition and finish with all our problems.
To be honest, this would be the right choice of conditional in
Yeah.
this case. Yeah, you should
Because
really.
it doesn't specify the time length.
Right.
and
Yeah, exactly that. In this case, it would be better to use ba anyway. But hayaku unten shitara abunai desu. I think you could use both in this case as well. Hayaku unten suru nara abunai desu. It's, yeah, I think it's fine. You don't actually have to be specific about this. So in this case, I think both conditionals are fine. Effie, you're muted.
I'm stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just a question, because I might have missed some things. Did we learn, or do they have in Japanese a term to use? It might be, or it's like not just using probably or possible, but is there like a verb conjugation that would? Is it the potential, or is it like something that would actually translate like it might be dangerous? Or
so there are ways to imply this. There's not a single term, but you can say things like, well, actually, rather than me saying it, guys, how would you infer possibility or uncertainty?
Nani nani kamoshirenai.
Kamoshirenai. Yeah.
like I think, or something. I think it.
Abunai to omoimasu ne. Right. Jock?
I just thought the same as Piotr.
Yeah.
Kamoshirenai.
I guess.
Abunai kanosei desu. There is a possibility of it being. Yeah.
After all.
Bunai desho.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Daro,
Eh.
daro.
Daro. Yeah, exactly. Bunai daro. These are all used to kind of infer possibility or, yeah, or uncertainty. Okay, let's continue. Wayne, if you don't eat your vegetables, then you won't grow to be an adult.
It's not true.
Biggest lie of my childhood.
And still grow up to be.
I've never eaten vegetables. What are vegetables?
You can eat spam. Looks insane.
That's also a kind of vegetable.
野菜を食べないと大人にならない。
Oh, 大人にならない. So there's some certainty there, isn't there? Yeah. Can we do the same thing with tara or nara?
食べなかったら
Yeah, exactly. You could do this. 野菜を食べなかったら大人にならない. All right, now we do have something here though. Can we use nara?
食べないなら。うん。 Yes, why not?
Is the uncertainty of nara and tara the same?
Pretty much, yeah. Why am I getting a billion emails all at one time? So my phone's just going mad. 野菜を食べないなら大人にならない. To be honest, on this one, I'm not entirely certain.
It's
Because
clumsy, isn't it?
yeah, 食べないな. This kind of means if you're not going to eat your vegetables, then, and it sounds like you're going to say, then do something else instead. Then take multivitamins. So I don't think putting this, because this otona ni naranai means something happens later, but nara is not used for that. So I think this I don't think is good. Piotr, if you're not busy next Saturday, would you like to come to a party? And you're asking Konstantina.
Let's see. Next Saturday. That is Jesus Christ. Doyobi?
土曜日です。はい。
Doyobi wa hima nara.
Next Saturday though.
来週の土曜日は、
来週の土曜日は
暇なら、
Good.
パーティーに行きませんか？
パーティーに
行きませんか？
So if it's your party, then yes, に来ませんか?
Or 行きませんか if it's anywhere else. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And Costa?
ぜひ行きます。If it wasn't his party, I would have said, ちょっと、
Yeah. もしあなたと一緒なら忙しいです。
Wow.
Okay, Costa. Now we should have this. Thankfully, we've got one which is much more definite. If you open this box, then you'll be able to see the contents.
I'm struggling with the mute button.
You're now
So many words I don't remember. If you open this box, then you will be able. So it's gonna be if A happens, then will be so Tara for sure.
Must be Tara. Must be Tara. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you open the box, Moshi Kono box.
This is Hako.
Hako. O aketara.
Aketara.
Content?
You can either use nakami or
Nakami. What is
nayo.
inside? Okay.
Yeah.
Nakami ga miemasu.
Perfect. Well done. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. This hako is the same as hakone, isn't it, Jock? Box and hakone,
Oh,
isn't it?
I don't know. I don't
It
know.
is,
I'm
Wayne.
Hakone.
Yeah,
confident.
it is. Yeah, Wayne says yes. So, yeah. So think of going to hakone in a box, and then you can remember what word for box is.
What is Hakone?
Hakone, it's a place in Japan. It's a very
Okay,
big resort.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I can't.
Ignorant.
No.
Ignorance.
Konezaiku. Hmm.
Guys, why couldn't we use nada in this case?
There's no doubt.
No, nothing to do with doubt.
It's a question for me, the Nara.
Anybody?
Oh, you have to open it first before.
Right. It must be completed before you can see the contents.
It's like you can see, unless the box is see-through, so you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, I don't think
Superman doesn't need
Nara.
it. He has X-ray vision.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you wanted to say, if you're going to open this box, then please wear gloves, then you'd use nada, right? Because that happens before you open the box. Cool. Jock, if you go to India, then please buy me some chili.
Indo ni itara.
Mhm.
Kosho?
Karashi でしょ?
からしを買ってきてください。買ってくる?
Just 買ってください is fine. 買ってください.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Can we use nada for this one?
No, because you have to go to India before you can buy it. So.
Perfect. Exactly correct. Good. If this is hot in here, then please open the window. Then please take off all your clothes. Da, 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 da. I'm
Either
gonna take
open the window or
yeah, or take off all your clothes. I'm gonna take my wellies off.
oh, wellies? Oh, come on. Koko ni atsukatta no?
Okay.
Koko de.
I think koko wa.
Koko wa, okay.
Yeah. Or koko ga.
Okay. Atsukattara.
Atsukattara. Kattara. Yep.
Mado o
Mhm.
akete kudasai.
Perfect. Akite kudasai. Could we use nada for this?
Well, you can always open the window earlier. You don't have to wait for it to get hot. But
True.
but no, because we had this discussion before.
Uh-huh.
I think it's because it's the adjective, no?
Yes.
Because it's atsui.
Yeah. So can we use nada?
I'll say no.
Okay. Well, the answer is yes. You can use it. Koko ga atsui nara, because it's not time specific.
Atsui nara. Okay, so not atsuku nara. Atsui.
No. Yeah. Try to drop atsuku nara.
Yeah.
That's atsuku naru nara.
Yeah, that's what confused me before.
Yeah. Jock?
Very early on, Andrew, you gave us a verb for salt and pepper.
Hi. Shokosho.
Shio kosho.
Yeah. So shio is obviously salt. Kosho is pepper.
So I was just worried about my karashi.
Karashi. Yeah, this is chili.
Could it be kosho?
No, kosho's pepper.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm just thinking about the hot part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you.
Wayne, we need a lecture on the differences between pepper and chili.
For Asians, I guess, pepper is just a spice, but not spicy. But chili is definitely spicy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Peppers are berries, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pepper. And the chili's a fruit with the seeds in, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Let me put you this way: the chili is gonna send me to the hospital. The pepper, I can eat it as much as you want.
Isn't there a difference between seasoning and the spices? Because salt and pepper
Yeah.
are seasonings, but when you do spices, you also consider curry, I don't know, cardamom, other things as spices.
So it's getting into a very technical
Becoming
discussion. now.
culinary.
The culinary, sorry, I'm stopping now.
Discussions, yay!
Guys, you have to guess the song for a second. Shokosho wa koko. What's the song?
Here's the salt and pepper.
No, it's Salt and Pepper's Here.
Is it the push it?
No. Good
But
God.
that's what they say.
Salt and Pepper. You know,
Yeah.
you know that the oh, sorry, push it. Sorry,
Push
yes.
it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. I heard Putin. Shit.
Oshte, oshte.
Right. Okay. Where were we? Luke, if you use this tool, then please be careful as it is dangerous.
Kono dogu.
Sounds like a message for Yari, doesn't it? Kono dogu.
O.
Oh.
Mm.
Tsukattara. Tsukaunara.
Sayonara. Good.
Kiotsuke kudasai, abonai desu kara.
Okay, good. If you said this would be perfectly understood. The right way to structure it would be abonai desu kara kiyotsukete kudasai, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way you said it is perfectly fine for conversation. Yeah. Why not skattara?
It's a bit late to warn him, isn't it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Once you've started using this tool, please be careful as it is dangerous. Yeah. If your fingers are on the floor, it's a bit late to say you might need a dustpan or brush. Wait, if you cross the road, then please look both ways as this is dangerous.
Doro o
Oh,
wataru nara
good. Wataru nara.
sayo o kakunin shite kudasai.
Oh, good. Kakunin shite kudasai. Nice.
Abonai desu.
Abunai desu ne. So maybe
Before that, yeah.
Abunai desu kara. Sayo kakunin shite kudasai. Really good. Pyeongdong. If the weather is clear tomorrow, then let's go to the beach.
明日の天気は、昼なら、
It's hare.
Hare.
Sorry. Hare ne.
So, yeah,
Hare ne.
is afternoon or noon, and
Yeah.
hare is clear. Yeah, sorry. Hare nara.
Yep.
Right. We've had this. It's not kaidan. That's stairs.
It is. Oh, so you say kaidan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like kaidan. It's almost the same as kaidan.
助けてください。
Kaigan desu.
Kaigan.
Kaigan. Okay.
はい。
海岸に行きましょう。
Perfect. Ikimashou. Good. Costa, if you like this, then please eat more.
If you like this,
Mhm.
then please eat more.
Mm.
So if you like this, it's gonna be first completion and then eating sotara. Or if I need to, let me check my notes for a minute. If you're thinking of doing first A, no, do first B.
I think actually the first thing you need to ask yourself is the conditional a verb or something else?
It's an adjective.
It's an adjective. So therefore, you're probably able
Nara.
to use nara and
Ba.
no, tara.
Tara.
You can use
Possibly
possibly you can use ba as well. But if it's an adjective or a noun, you can use tara or nara. Usually.
So if you like this, If you like. Like, how do you say the like?
Who can help?
I know it's stupid. I know, and I'm gonna hit my head to
I
the
like
wall.
my hobby is going down a mountain. I like this.
Jose.
No.
No.
I like sliding down a mountain on pieces of fiberglass. I really like this. This is something I really like doing.
Slide.
Kurva.
Kurva. Ski. Ski.
Ski da yo. Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can certainly take
I
a horse
know.
to water, but you can't necessarily tell it how to walk.
No. Oh my God. It's always this thing. I remember the most difficult ones and the easiest just gone by my brain.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening.
It's possibly
So,
all the sambuca you drank as a child.
I don't like Sabuka. Beer as much as you want, but Sabuka beer.
Oh.
Λοιπόν, if you like this, please eat more. So, Moshi,
Mhm.
Skinara, Skitara, Skitara.
No, skitara.
I don't know. Wait. Is it Benri Datara? Say, okay, Skidatara.
Skitatara.
Okay. Skidatara. Then tabe sugimasu. No.
I think you mean
A lot.
motto.
Motto tabete kudasai.
Tabete kudasai. Good. Yeah, exactly.
But then I how do you say that then? Ga. No, but it's ga.
You don't need then with.
You don't need. It's
conditions.
English crappy crap. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Could you use nada in this?
No.
Perché? Perché
I
no?
don't. Because on the one I have, if you're thinking about doing A, then do B first. So you cannot eat much. You cannot eat a lot if you don't like it. You have to do the first. The first action. You need to like it first to eat more. Unless it's somebody shoving food in your mouth. I don't know how to think about it.
Adjectives are not time referenced.
I need to write that down. I haven't wrote this down.
Therefore, can you use nada?
No.
You can. Are you and Effie basically the same person? Ski
No,
nada.
Yeah.
Motto tabete kudasai. When I say adjectives are not time referenced, it means you don't need to worry about it. If it's an adjective as the conditional, you can use either nada or tara. It makes no difference really. Yeah.
Reference. Okay. So that means either tara
Or nada.
or nara. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a missing from my notes. Okay. And I know that we just said it. Effie just said it, but no, my brain has selective memory.
Yes,
Sorry
I
for
can
that.
tell. Jock, you okay?
I was just wondering, can we use okuchi ni ao nara?
Oh, yes, but if
Okuchi ni attara.
atara ne, hai,
Mm.
because that then becomes a verb, we should really use the past tense. In fact, I'm sure you probably know, ski is the na adjective, but there's also sku, isn't there? This is actually a verb to like. Yeah, just like kirai, although this is a na adjective, there's kirao. It's a very rarely used verb. So you could use suitara, but this sounds too much like all the other suitaras. I guess it's not used. You use it as the na adjective instead.
No, just thinking about ao, kuchi ni ao.
Yeah, absolutely. Kuchi ni attara, then or kuchi ni ao nara would be fine as well, I think.
But both then.
Yeah. I think for this kind of thing where you're basically talking about the state of something, then you can use tara or nara. If it was a guys, remember in the last few months we've looked at this other categorization of verbs, the transition verbs and the state verbs. these two very broad ways of categorizing something. Like opening a box, this is a transition verb rather than or entering into a room as a transition. These are much more time sensitive than the state verbs. So kuchini ao, it fits your mouth. This is actually a state verb, isn't it? It's not saying when it fits your mouth, or there'll be a moment when it's not fitting your mouth and it does fit your mouth. It's definitely not a transition, it's a state verb. So this would be fine to just use tara or nara. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, before we go on to the reading lesson today, I was thinking the other day actually that there's a song that's been used in Japanese. It's a song which is, I guess, probably originates in English, and it actually contains some really useful aspects of grammar. And it's that I'll write the song to you first. Shiawase nara te o tatako.
If you're happy and you know it.
Exactly this. Yeah, it's if you're happy, you know it, clap your hands. And then it goes shiawase na te o tatako. Shiawase nara taido shime so yo. Hora minna de te o tatako. And it was interesting because we've done like whole lessons which contain single aspects of the grammar within this. So shiawase nara, shiawase means happiness. Nara, so we've got a conditional, if you're happy. Te o tatako, this comes from the verb tataku, to clap or to smack. And this has been put into what form, tatako?
Let's.
So this is called the
Suggestive.
It's plain volitional. It's not tatakimashou. It's in the plain form. Tatako. So this kind of teaches you how to make a verb into the plain volitional when you need it. Taido shimeso. Shimesu. Excuse me a second. Shimesu. No, this is the same as miseru, to show, to demonstrate. Shimesu. So then you've got another plain volitional, shimesu, becoming shimeso, let's show it. Taido. Somebody know what this means?
Big road.
Probably. Piotr?
Isn't it big wave?
No. It's
Behavior?
behavior or
That's
condition.
taiko.
Yeah, you're right. It's behavior, condition. So the meaning of the translation of the song is: if you're happy, clap your hands. If you're happy, clap your hands. If you're happy,
You know it.
show it. And then with everybody, let's clap our hands.
Ora.
Yeah.
So how does it go? Can you sing it to us?
Effie, if you play the piano, I'll sing it.
We can sing together.
Okay. Shiawase nara te o tatako. Shiawase nara taido shimeso yo. Hora minna de te o tatako. Hey.
Is there something missing from the third line? Because it seems much shorter.
Yeah, there's lots of it. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it,
Yeah.
this is just saying, if you're happy, then show it. Let's show it. Then let's show it.
No, I mean in length, because you went shimeso.
The scanning. Yeah, no, it's just that if they try to actually say the entire thing in Japanese, it becomes too long, so they just cut it. It becomes shiawase nara taido shimeso yo. It's like 3 o's there. Oh, yo. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's move on, guys. Any questions?
New dimension to the lesson.
Oh, we actually had Effie's hubby playing Life on Mars, didn't we, on the piano a few
Oh.
weeks ago? Yeah, it was really nice.
幸せなら手をたたこう手をたたこう幸せなら態度で示そうよほらみんなで手をたたこうおいおい
I think that's the Kansai version because the timing's all different. Right, moving on. And that.
Continues with feet and stuff. Oh yeah, stomp your feet, obviously. Yeah.
Not clap your feet. Right, let's see. We haven't got much time, so I'm going to ask Jock. Could you read with me, Jock?
Okay, what am I reading?
I'm just going to send it to you now.
Yeah.
Shall I send it to Facebook Messenger? Have you got another app? Have you got a decent app to read it from?
No, only a mobile phone.
Okay.
Bit
Are you
tiny.
Are you using your computer at the moment, or a tablet at the same time?
Tablet.
Is your tablet connected to your email?
I think so. I don't. Yes, of course it is.
Shall I send you? Shall I send it to you on email?
All right.
Or is that going to take a lot of time? Are you using Zoom on your tablet at the moment?
Yes, I am.
I'll tell you what. Let me do this to Piotr, because it's just for time wise. Because I need to get out of here at 12:30.
I'll have to read the manual otherwise.
Yeah. Let's see. Piotr.
Just the song to the event, today's event.
Sorry, one more time.
I posted the song, link to the song to the
Oh,
event.
thank you. Thank you. Grazie.
There you go. Ah,
Okay.
there's it. In my mail.
Okay. メッセージが届いたら言ってください。
はい。I'm opening it now.
はい。
There we go.
Okay, so this is lesson 15, called A Forgotten Umbrella. And it starts with Mr. Brown takes care of Mr. Yamamoto's umbrella. I'll be Brown, Piotr, and you can be Yamamoto.
Watanabe, you mean?
Ah, そうだ、Watanabe です。Ah, okay. Yamamoto は入っYamamoto's the third person. Right, okay. 昨日、スポーツクラブに行ったら、山本さんに会いましたか？
おととい、ここに来た山本さんですか？山本さんが傘を忘れて帰りましたが、どうしましょうか？
私がその傘を預かりましょう。来週、スポーツクラブへ行くとき、持って行きますから、山本さんに会ったら渡します。もし会わなかったら受付にあげます。預けます。
お願いします。
Okay, let's do that section again, shall we? Because I was also kind of like trying to work out what was being said. 昨日スポーツクラブに行ったら山本さんに会いましたか？
It's not a question.
Sorry, 渡辺さんに会いました。
山本さんに会いました。
はい。
You okay?
ちょっと待って。スポーツクラブに行ったらBut I think it is a question. When I ran into... Oh, okay. Right, sorry. 昨日スポーツクラブに行ったら山本さんに会いました。
おととい、ここに来た山本さんですか？山本さんが傘を忘れて帰りましたが、どうしましょうか？
私がその傘を預かりましょう。来週、スポーツクラブへ行くとき、持って行きますから、山本さんに会ったら 渡します。もし合わなかったら受付に預けます。
お願いします。
はい。Okay. And then later at the sports club, do you want to be uketsuke, Piotr, and I'll be Brown?
おはようございます。
おはようございます。山本太郎さんという人はもう来ていますか？ここの会員だと思います。
会員の山本様ですね。今日は山本様は夕方6時にいらっしゃいます。
そうですか。山本さんの傘を預かっているんですが、6時に来るなら、今ここに預けてもいいですか？
はい、どうぞ。
私は ABC のブラウンと言います。これが切ったら、これを、
彼が
彼が切ったら、これを渡してください。
はい、確かに。
はい。And one more time, Piotr.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。山本太郎さんという人はもう来ていますか？ここの会員だと思います。
会員の山本様ですね。今日は山本様は夕方6時にいらっしゃいます。
そうですか。山本さんの傘を預かっているんですが、6時に来るなら、今ここに預けてもいいですか？
はい、どうぞ。
私は ABC のブラウンと言います。彼が切ったらこれを渡してください。
はい、確かに。
はい、よし。Okay, guys, I'm going to give you some vocabulary now because it will probably be useful. Let's see, 言ったら、山さんに山さん、いきません。山さんの傘を忘れる。忘れる。This means to forget. And しましょう。私がその傘を預かりましょう。預かる means to take care of something. 使って持ってきましたに、受付 this means reception. 会員 this means club member. 会員 club member. なんですね。夕方 you should know, everybody knows that's evening. いらっしゃいます just so everybody is clear. いらっしゃいます Is it one S or two? Yeah, sorry, one R. いらっしゃいます This is just polite version of います and you can use this to mean if they come. In this case, 行ったら if they're here. そうですか。
It's the same with いってらっしゃい。
いってらっしゃい
Yes.
Yeah, いらっしゃいませ。
Welcome or like yokoso or something.
Yes. And then 渡す to pass across, to hand over, or to pass over. To give. Okay. Right. Should we do it one more time, Piotr? We can probably go through it fairly quickly now. 昨日、スポーツクラブに行ったら山本さんに会いました。
おととい、ここに来た山本さんですか？
ええ。
山本さんが傘を忘れて帰りましたが、どうしましょうか？
私がその傘を預かりましょう。来週、スポーツクラブへ行くとき、持って行きますから、山本さんに会ったら渡します。もし会わなかったら、受付に預けます。
はい、お願いします。And then at the
And then
health club.
Yep.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。山本太郎さんという人はもう来ていますか？ここの会員だと思います。
会員の山本様ですね。今日は山本様は夕方6時にいらっしゃいます。
そうですか。山本さんの傘を預かっているんですが、6時に来たら今ここに預けてもいいですか？
はい、どうぞ。
私は ABC のブラウンと言います。彼が来たらこれを渡してください。
はい、確かに。
はい。確かに。Maybe I will, maybe I won't. 確かに。Usually,
確かになりました。
usually you'd say かしこまりました。Yeah, not 確かに。Could be a mistake. Right. Let's have a look. 少々お待ちください。
確か by itself is certain, positive, definite. So could you say absolutely, definitely, 確かに?
For sure.
Yeah, I suppose so.
No,
Usually,
確かに by itself is also in the dictionary, also it's rare, like surely or certainly.
I mean, in context, it's usually used to mean possibly, could be, maybe. Yeah, even though the dictionary term says certainly. I've seen this before and thought, that's weird.
Yep.
It's not how I've heard it being used.
Is that not the Japanese? Yes.
Could be, yeah. I guess it's a positive probably rather than a negative probably, or a neutral probably. Okay, let's go through. Can you all see this?
Just about. Okay. Oops.
Let me try and zoom in a bit more. Is that okay?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Jock, do you want to read the first line and translate it?
Brown, Kino Sports Club ni ittara Yamamoto-san ni aimashita.
Yeah.
Yesterday I met Yamamoto-san when I was at the sports club.
Yeah, exactly. So here we're using tara not as the conditional, but to say when this happened. So there's no moshi at the beginning. So it's really clearly saying, when I went to the sports club, I then met Yamamoto-san. Good. Effie, next line.
おとといここに来た山本さんですか？おととい is like the day before yesterday?
Exactly.
Like
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Yamamoto-san, did Yamamoto-san go today? Come here 2 days ago?
Not exactly. No. You're on the right lines, but this is ototoi koko ni kita. So this, remember, this is in the plain form before Yamamoto-san. So what is that doing? What's this sentence doing? In the plain form before a noun.
That he, is it like the, how is it called? That you make it, no, that's not it. I was gonna say, does it make it like a no, I don't know. Let's just leave it at that.
This becomes a modifier for the noun. It becomes like an adjective for the noun. So this is that the Yamamoto who came the day before yesterday? Yeah. This becomes a description of this.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Brown says, And then Luke, next one.
Yamamoto-san ga kasa o wasurete kaerimashita ga dou shimashou ka?
Yeah.
And Yamamoto-san forgot his umbrella.
Good.
Kairimashita ga when he went home.
So this is, he forgot it and went home.
When he went home and he went, God, that's the ga.
This is just like but.
Got. where should I take it?
Not doko. This is just do.
Mm.
Do shimashou.
How?
Yeah. Do shimashou.
What should I do?
Yeah, exactly. What should I do? Do shimashou ka. It's basically the same as nani o shimashou ka, but it's a little bit more colloquial. Not colloquial, fluid. Wayne, next line up to here.
私がその傘を
Mhm.
預かりましょう。
Yeah.
来週スポーツクラブ
はい。
行くとき持って行きますから。
Okay, so translate up to there first.
Sure. I will take care of the umbrella and I'll take care of, I'll hold on to the umbrella.
Good.
I'll be going to the sports club next week.
Mhm.
And I should bring him with me then.
Perfect. Exactly. Good. Good. Piotr, rest of that paragraph.
Yamamoto-san ni attara watashimasu. もし会わなかったら受付に預けます。
Good.
So if I meet up with Yamamoto-san, I will hand it over. And if I don't meet up with him, I will azukere was to.
So there's a funny kind of thing here between the transitive and the intransitive verbs of to look after something. If you say azukaru, this is you looking after something. I will look after it. If you say azukeru in the transitive form, this means I will put it somewhere to be looked after by somebody else, basically. I will deposit it somewhere.
So I'll leave it with the reception desk to,
Exactly.
For them to take care of.
Exactly this. Yeah, good. And then, as these are all really short and easy, Costa, I'd like you to go from here all the way down to here.
I have no comments, but anyway.
No comment.
No comment. Onegai shimasu. Yes, please. Whatever.
Mhm.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Owayo.
Ohio.
Owayo.
Ohio.
Owayo.
Ohio, talk to me like
Ohio.
this.
How are you?
Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay. Ohayo gozaimasu. Punto. Yamamoto. What is this? Yamamoto Tara.
Taro.
Yamamoto Taro. Santo.
Mhm.
You.
Mhm.
Hito wa mo
Let's go up to here first.
ra.
Oh, good try. This is kitemasu.
Okay.
It is the same character for raishu
Okay.
to mean next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kiteimasu ka?
Mhm.
Okay. So good morning. Good morning. If not if Yamamotara Yamamotara.
This Taro is just his first name. Yamamoto Taro-san.
Okay. Mr. Yamamoto Taro. You? What is you? What is this you?
Well, what do you think? Do you remember what it actually means as a verb? What's
Is it
you?
You to say.
To say, yeah.
Yeah.
And then again,
to say this guy, to say.
yeah. Look, this is a plain form verb before a
Mhm.
noun. So again, this is a modifier. So this is a
The
person.
said man.
Yeah, a person called Yamamoto Taro. Yeah.
Okay. The said man Yamamoto.
Mhm.
Mo. Two. So no. Mo.
Or already is also another. use of
Okay.
more.
Already.
Yeah.
If he came, kite imaska.
Yeah. Has he already come? Which means
He's
is he
already
still
come.
here? Is he still here? Yeah. And then
Koko no. That story is too tiny. Thank you. Kainda to omoimasu.
Hai.
Okay, so koko no here. Koko no kain dato. Kain dato. But I haven't wrote anything.
Kain
is the
da-
club member? Club member.
Yep.
The kain dato.
Omoimasu.
I think he's a club member.
Yes, good. Yeah, of here.
Okay.
He's a club member here.
Of here, of
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, good. And then Jock, back to this one here. Uketsuke, third line, third paragraph.
Oh, sorry. Kain no Yamamoto-san desu ne.
Hai.
Yeah. Yo wa Yamamoto-sama wa yugata 6 ji irashaimasu.
Good. Yeah.
So the club member, Mr. Yamamoto, will be here this evening at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Perfect.
He'll come at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Good, good, good. And then Effie. May as well
Oh,
do
this guy.
all of this. Yep.
Okay, so this guy. Right. Oh, is it so? Yamamoto-san no kasa o azukatte iru n desu ga? God. Am I reading correctly?
Yep, yep.
6時に
Mhm.
来るなら、今ここに預けてもいいんですか?
Good.
Okay, my God. So, 預けてるんですか? Okay. Yeah. So, okay. If you like azukeru, like to take care of something, like I understand the meaning. Let me see how I'll translate it. So it's like if you
Okay, let's
kind of like I give you the umbrella of Mr. Yamamoto, but so if he comes at 6 o'clock, can you give it to him?
Yes.
Something like that. Could you
Well,
take care of, no, let me think.
let's do this subclause at a time. So, Yamamoto-san no kaso o azukatte iru n desu ka? What does this mean?
Like that you take care, you take care of the umbrella of Mr. Yamamoto.
Yeah, I am looking after. I'm looking after it.
Azukaru, right?
Azukaru, yeah. I'm looking after it.
Yeah.
And then 6時に来るなら.
So if he comes at 6 o'clock.
Good. 今ここに預けてもいいですか?
No, like if he comes here.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for you to until, or is it like until then? Would it be okay for you to keep it, to take care of it?
Yes. Yeah. Can I leave it here? Can I leave it with you? If he's coming at 6 o'clock, can I leave this here with you now?
Yeah. The azukeru is always like kind of changing meaning.
Yes. Yeah.
I have it, but then I will leave it, but then you take care. Okay.
Yeah. It's so I think the word is to entrust. Yeah. If it's azukaru, it means I will take care of it. If it's azukeru, means I entrust it to somebody else. I also get mixed up with this all the time.
Oh wait, that was azukeru then. Yeah, that was azukete.
Yeah, azukete mo. Is it okay if I entrust it to you?
Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah.
And then Luke, do you want to do the next line and all the way to the end here actually?
私は ABC のブラウンと言います。彼が来たらこれを渡してください。
Good.
The ABC の
That's the name of the company.
Ah.
Yeah. It stands for a big company.
I am.
Yep.
Does ABC know Brown?
Yep. I'm Brown of ABC, right?
Yeah. To imas. Yeah. But imas, it's say.
Yeah. So when you're introducing yourself, you can say, for example, if I'm introducing myself, I would say, Andy des. Igilis not Andy des. I'm Andy of England. But to tell somebody your name, you can also say, I am called Andy.
To
Andy to
iimasu.
iimasu. Yeah.
To iimasu. In
Yeah.
that sense, yeah. 彼が if he comes,
yeah.
これを渡して can you hand it over to him, please?
Right, exactly, yeah, yeah. So, not that it matters too much, but 彼が来たら, well, he already knows that he's going to be here at 6 o'clock. So this doesn't mean if he comes, it means
when he comes.
When he comes, exactly, yeah, yeah. And then he says, "Hey, Tashkani." Cool, good. Okay, guys, we've got, although it's just gone past past, I think we've got time to just hear this again without the script. Now that you know what's being said, let's try and associate what you hear with what you know and turn words into meaning. Okay, Piotr? 大丈夫ですか? まだミュートです。
はい、ちょっと待って。
はい、どうぞ。開けます。はい。
開けています。はい。
はい。昨日、スポーツクラブに行ったら、山本さんに会いました。
おととい、ここに来た山本さんですか？山本さんが傘を忘れて帰りましたが、どうしましょうか？
私がその傘を預かりましょう。来週、スポーツクラブへ行くとき、持って行きますから。山本さんに会ったら渡します。もし会わなかったら受付に預けます。
お願いします。
And then later at the sports club.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。山本太郎さんという人はもう来ていますか？ここの会員だと思います。
会員の山本様ですね。今日は山本様は夕方6時にいらっしゃいます。
そうですか。山本さんの傘を預かっているんですが、6時に来るなら、今ここに預けてもいいですか？
はい、どうぞ。
私は ABC のブラウンと言います。彼が来たらこれを渡してください。
はい、確かに。
確かに？なんで絶対にいいじゃないの？
かしこまりました。
はい、皆さん、ご質問か大きい問題がありますか？ありませんか？はい。
I'm sure you told us before that Tashka was meant for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it says in the dictionary also sure. It's just that whenever I've heard it actually used in Japan, it's said in a way like there's a tiny amount of uncertainty, like probably, tashkani, probably. Never heard it used in a way to mean certainly. Certainly is usually expressed by, for example, with service staff, it's kashiko marimashita. If you're actually saying it will absolutely happen, then people say zettai ni. Yeah, it's funny. Maybe its meaning's changed over the years. I don't know.
This was a 30-year-old book?
Yeah. But even the dictionary, I mean, AE Dict still says certainly, doesn't it? Or certainty.
It does, yeah. Tashkani itself also occurs with the notion of rare. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tashkanarazu.
Tashkanarazu? Right.
Means I'm not sure, doesn't it?
I don't know, actually.
Tashkanaranai.
Oh, okay. Tashka. Sure, certain, positive, definite, reliably. Okay, so there's maybe this is the more common reading though. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, if I remember rightly, so it's adding some certainty, but still with the possibility that you're not sure. Yeah, so I think that's probably where it's used the most. Yeah, let's look at Tashkani.
Remember Tashkanaranai.
Let's look at Tashkanaranai. Tashkanaranai. Oh, it's not. Hang on. Look for it again. Tashika nara
Wouldn't that just be tashka and naru negative as separate words?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably right. It doesn't. It means I'm not certain. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. ありがとうございました。皆さん、お疲れ様でした。またよろしく。
ありがとうございました。
Very much.
気をつけて。
またね。
またね。